So I've been married for 4 years, and I had told my husband that I wanted to wait a year into our marriage before we were actually going to try to start a family and have kids. I wanted to have that foundation with him. I wanted to enjoy being married. If you know me, I prayed and prayed and prayed to get married. This man waited 4 years to propose to me. I just wanted to be married. And so I truly wanted to be married. I wanted to enjoy him and be with him and enjoy life and make sure our marriage was good before we started a family. And I think most people think they're gonna immediately start trying to have a family and just get pregnant right away. It's odd because I didn't feel that way. I knew I wanted a family. I knew at some point we would have a family in our life. And there was just something in me. I don't know if I had seen too many stories of people struggling with infertility and things like that. I didn't want to take it for granted. I didn't want to be like, we're going to automatically get pregnant. We're going to have a family right away. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just a gut feeling or I just had that experience, but I was like, I'm just not going to assume that we're going to have a kid right away. And interesting enough, we had been married, I think, for about 9 months. And then my husband really wanted to, have a family. And I wanted one too. And I was like, you know what? A timeline, we're just going to throw that out the window. We're going to see, how it goes. It may take us a while to get pregnant. So let's just, start trying to grow our family. And we did that. And at first, it was a few months. And I was like, okay, it takes a few months, you never know. We weren't really doing anything like tracking it or anything like that. And I don't know, 4 or 5 months into it, I had a friend that um, had a doctor that they were going to for fertility stuff and was like, just go get it checked out, do some blood work. We did that. They immediately put me on some medications for things. Not now looking back, I don't even know if there was a reason for that. Did some testing there, moved forward in that, and finally went to a different doctor that I was like, look, we got to try some things. This other doctor had me on this. This is not working. What do we need to do? Like, let's start from square one. What testing do we need to get done? So we had some testing done, just, at a normal doctor. And, their recommendation was trying Clomid and trying it for a few months. And this might get personal and TMI, but I won't share anything too deep. But I think it's a journey that people need to be aware of and be educated on. Um, I tried Clomid for a month. It is a hormone. It makes your body feel crazy, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. I want a family, but I also don't want to hate my life. And so I was like, I'm not doing that again. Ends up, I couldn't do it again anyways because I had done an ultrasound and that medication had created cysts on my ovaries anyways, and they won't let you do it again because that can be dangerous. So I quit that medicine and I was like, okay, let's kind of see where we want to go next. We ended up getting an appointment with a fertility specialist, went to them, discussed what we had done, where we had come so far, and we did some testing with them, making sure my ovaries were good, my tubes were clear, my husband was good. Till this day, there's still not an answer. I actually had one doctor that did one of the tests say that I had a textbook uterus, that it looked perfect, everything was great. And I was like, well, that's great, but something's not working. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I guess everything's fine. So to hear that everything's fine, but something's not fine is what it feels like. So we just kept going. They ended up recommending us we did a medicated cycle where we just did medicine and monitoring with a fertility specialist so that I would go in and get ultrasounds. They would check things at certain points and we would take certain medications on certain days. That did not work. We did one more cycle, but it was an IUI, which is intrauterine insemination. So you do all the medicines, you do the shots, and then they do that procedure. And that was unsuccessful. Mind you, a lot of this, it's a financial investment that you're making, because this is not something that they, price very cheaply. Um, so we're investing in the future of our family, and really just finding out, how are we going to have a family? How is this going to work for us when? And I just kept trusting the Lord. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Before we did all this, I was able to get pregnant. I had gotten pregnant twice within a year, and both of them, it was a miscarriage at about 4.5 to 5 weeks, and that was a difficult time in itself. And so, really trusting the Lord every time I go to the doctor, and just feeling like after every medication fail, after every procedure fail, or after every procedure that is fine, but it's not fine, like what's going on. It just it has made me really have to lean on the Lord and trust his timing and trust him. And there were days I still don't understand. I don't understand what he's doing. This is something I'm going through currently. We're not through this. Um, but it's something that I get up and I say, Lord, I love you and I trust you, but I don't understand. And the verse that I've clung to is, I may not say it completely right, but it's Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6 is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not in your own understanding. We have a worldly understanding. God has a different understanding. His timeline is different. And now looking at it, we quit fertility treatment. We got licensed to be foster parents. We're on our second placement. We had a baby girl for 5 months who I thought would stay with me. But I see the restoration in her life, and that she's with her family. And she's loved and taken care of, and we gave her a great start to life and gave her a godly home. And now we have, another placement, and we don't know how that's going to end up. Ultimately, we want what God wants, and we want the restoration for families, but that's not always the case. And so today we're still praying for our family. We have the blessing of being able to be parents and parent children and raise them. But we also are still yearning for our forever family. And so we've walked through a lot of hard seasons these past 4 years in our marriage. Hard things that, yes, I didn't think getting pregnant was going to be easy, but I didn't think it was going to be this hard. And on the outside, there's so many emotions that you feel, but deep in my core, in my heart, I know that one day I will be pregnant. I know that I listen to the doctors, but God has the final say. And I know that no one's given me a reason that I can't get pregnant. And even if they had, God works miracles and God opens wombs. And right now, for some reason, mine is closed. But what a blessing and an opportunity that I get to love these children that are with me, who may stay with me. We may get the opportunity to adopt, or we may send them to where they are intended to go. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. But we all struggle with something in life, and life is not easy. And we need Jesus through it all. And what it's really taught me is how to completely lean on the Lord, how to completely trust Him, even when we don't understand and we think things should be a certain way. God's ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. He sees the bigger picture. And no matter how much pain you're experiencing and how it feels like, how could anything good come from this? It has strengthened my marriage. It has strengthened my faith. We're not through it yet, but I know we will be. And all I want to do is just support any other woman or family that is going through this, because you're not alone and you don't have to be, even though this season can feel extremely isolating. This is my story and where I've come from and where I'm at in my faith and my journey. I want to encourage you in yours, and that just follow the Lord, and He will help you through anything you're going through. Trust Him with all of your heart, and share this with a friend, share this with a family member, and just remember that He's always with you wherever you go.